Welcome to the Militia Gaming community. I'm Trigger, and this video is all about the 1970 Volvo Amazon P130. Let's go! Alright, before we get into the video, if you're looking for a level 50 crew or potentially some of my best guides, you can head over to militiagamingco.com. I've got merch, I've got the best guides that I possibly have on my channel, and then a link to our Discord server where there are plenty of level 50 crews who are recruiting new members. You can head over there and check that stuff out. If you have any questions about that, send me a DM on Instagram, Twitter, or Discord. Again, it's militiagamingco.com. Alright, let's get into it. This Volvo is by far the most broken car in the game, and I'm not saying that in a good sense. This car is horrible to drive. Now, it's not that slow. It's actually a decently fast car, but it just doesn't feel good to drive. I tried several different builds, lots of different tire, suspension, and differential options, and what it boils down to is that this car likes to lose traction in the worst possible scenarios, and it likes to grip up in the worst possible scenarios, and I don't even understand how that's possible. Usually cars that lose traction easily have a problem gripping up when you need it to coming out of a turn, and this car doesn't have a problem getting into a drift. It drifts actually quite nicely, but the second you let off the brake, it grips up like crazy. Like in the middle of the turn, it will just grip up on you. So this was a horrible car to test. It just really was difficult to try to get this car to do what I wanted it to do. It just didn't act like any other car in the game. That being said, the fastest engine for the car was the 562 horsepower 3.8 liter V8. I ran a 259.4 on Arian and a 242.8 on Sonic. This is a okay time. Like I said, it's not a super slow car. It's not a super fast car either. It has actually very good acceleration in the top end of its gears. It gets up to top speed pretty quickly. Now, all of that being said, let me give you my full track build. It's the 562 horsepower 3.8 liter V8, Ultimate Plus engine parts, dual turbo, and the 5x3 pound NOS. I've got super track suspension, stock brakes. This is a very big deal for this build. If you use brakes that are more powerful than stock brakes, you're going to lose a ton of time in the corners, because to keep this car drifting, you actually need to keep holding the brake. As soon as you let go of the brake, the car grips up and wants to go straight. So you need to have the least powerful brakes, in this case the stock brakes. Now, this is interesting too, because I tried both the race and the track tires. I went with track tires for the build, only because the track tires actually increase acceleration out of turns, so the car wants to grip up. If you have race tires, the car wants to continue to have no traction, even though it acts like it grips up out of the turn. It's very difficult to understand. It's hard to explain. If you're driving the car, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, track tires for this one, Elite Plus clutch, Elite 7-speed gearbox, Super Track differential, and the NOS refills and duration, of course. Steering sensitivity at +5, downforce -5, traction control off, and drift style on brake. Alright, let's move on to the drag build. So for the drag build, I'm using the same exact engine that gives you the best 0 to 60 and quarter mile, and unfortunately these stats are just not that great. It's a 2.1 0 to 60 and an 8.73 quarter mile. It's just kind of whatever. It's not good, it's not really that bad. I mean, it's in the middle somewhere. So anyways, this build is just whatever. It's not really recommended to drag race your friends in, but here's my full build anyway. It's that same 562 horsepower 3.8 liter V8 engine, Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate dual turbo, and the 1x15 pound NOS. You got super track suspension, stock brakes again, Elite drag tires, Elite Plus clutch, Elite 7-speed gearbox, super track differential, NOS refills and duration, and then steering sensitivity +5, downforce -5, traction control off, and drift style on brake. Alright, moving on to the drift build, and this is actually where this car shined the brightest in my opinion. It's actually a decent drifting car. On the drift section that's right outside the racetrack, I ran it a few times and I averaged the top 3 scores, and it averaged out to 96,143. That's actually really good, and one of those runs I was able to score over 100,000 points, which not very many cars can do that. Now, what this drift build does is it offers a lot of really good control. It's just easy to drive in drift applications, and I really like that about it. So with that said, here is my drift build. It's that same engine parts, dual turbo, and 5x3 pound NOS. And then you've got super speed cross suspension, elite brakes, elite drag tires, elite plus clutch, pro plus 4-speed gearbox, pro drift differential, NOS refills, and NOS duration. Of course, the same steering sensitivity +5, downforce -5, traction control off, and on this one, you're going to switch the drift style back to gas. All right, lastly, let's take a look at off-road. The car was not that great off-road. It wasn't slow, but it wasn't fast either. It's in the top 30, which is quite an achievement, but it's just not very fast. It's just kind of like in the middle. So I was able to run a 152.4 on HTV2 and a 313.3 on Rumble, which give it a 505.7 combined time. And like I said, that is top 30, but it's not that great. I've only tested 85 of the cars, and to be top 30, you're kind of sitting in the middle. That being said, here is your off-road build. It's the 562 engine, same parts, same dual turbo and 5x3 pound NOS. We've got super rally suspension, stock brakes, elite off-road tires, elite plus clutch, elite 7-speed gearbox, and the super rally differential. We've got NOS refills and duration, and then steering sensitivity +5, downforce -5, traction control off, and drift style on gas again. It actually just feels better with the drift style on gas in the dirt because the car seems to drift a little bit better. With that, guys, I'm going to end the video. I really appreciate everyone's support in this series. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Every time I post a video, it gets thousands of views, so thank you very much. I'm going to continue this series. Hopefully, we can finish all the cars before the next Need for Speed comes out, but if not, I'll keep going and we'll finish it up eventually. Hey, before I go, shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. If you want to see your name up here with the rest of these legends, all you have to do is click the join button below and become a Heat 5 member. By doing this, you'll be supporting the channel in ways you will not believe, and you get all kinds of sweet perks like members only streams and specific exclusive Discord channel access. All right, thank you so much for watching. Shout out to all the subs. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.